Right, what's happening, everyone? Yeah, it's that time again. It's story time right now. This one, it's like, it's funny, but it's not really, do you know what I mean? It just shows that, you know, rats come in all shapes and sizes, you know, honestly, even if you think they're your mates or whatever, do you know what I mean? You just gotta have your wits about it. I'll get on this, yeah. I said I'd do a story about it on one of my other stories ages ago, and I forgot. I mentioned the cabbage field, and I said, that's a story in itself, and one of you have messaged me saying, what about that cabbage field story? And I was like, no way, how have you even remembered that? So that's what this is. So we were in an area out the way through this white brown, right, just on the George there, and it just got hot, right, because some of the punters were working with other firms and that, so they were phoning you, and then when you go there, you get swooped on, do you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, swerve that, mate. So I got swooped on about 3 times, yeah, and the same busy was on 2 of them, and he was like, lads, we know what you're doing, and I was like, strip you, me and all that. I was making it proper hard work for me, and then they'd see the car, they'd be ripping us in the morning, do you know what I mean? It was just like a conspiracy against us, do you know what I mean? Because there was already lads up there, and the lads who were already up there, they were from round there, so they had like better connections, you know what I mean? They were all like, they were only mushing and that, they wouldn't have done nothing like that, they didn't want nothing to do with it like that way, but they went about it a different way, so they were just giving people bits and that, and then we were just getting proper setups, you know what I mean? So it's just over, no matter what you can go in, you can start wasting people and this, that, go up with the biggest firm in the world, but you're still getting grassed on, you know what I mean? So made the decision, lads, gone, so goes the pie, empties the pie. So now what we were doing down there, it was like 2 different separate parts. There was like a rich part of the place, and there was like a normal part of the place, you know what I mean? And we used to absolutely smash it in the rich part of the place, you know, like you go and see like punters, and they'd just be in like £1 million houses, just like that, you know what I mean? You'd just be like, what happened there? Be like, I just made a silly mistake, didn't I? You know, I've never had to work, and I just get everything I want, and then, yeah, what did I reckon on this car? I just absolutely smashed it. So they were like the people we were trying to get up there, and we got loads of them, right? And what happens is, one day, we put the pie in one of these big top tens and all that, right? And the lad who was minded for us, he just never had a clue, he was brand out the rapper. So I mean, he was just like, yes, you're like a proper yes man and all that. And then we went there, and when we go round there, there was another firm sitting by that house. So I was thinking, what are they doing there? So he said, so he gets out the car, walks, and said, what's happening? Like, what's happening? I said, what are you doing here? He said, lads, we're waiting for him. I said, what for? He wants these phones us. I said, these phones you for bits? Like, yeah. And I'm thinking, what is he on about there? He said, and you know, lads, I'm not like, you know, I know you're going to end up punching his head and all that. He said, but lads, he's told he's got your pie there. I went, what? I said to him, why are you phoning us? He said, because I've got all Scouse's parcel in mine. And he said, yeah. He says, is that what you're just sitting there for? Like, no, lad, you're mad, aren't you? No, you're mad. But I was thinking, they phoned someone and they're on the way to here, so I was going to sound, yeah. I said, lad, go away. He said, go away now, fuck off now. He's like, what? I said, lad, fuck off now. I said, what's he phoned you for? He's like, 4. I said, that's a yes. I said, yeah. So I said, yeah, there's a warrant, fuck off now, go and have a scan, just go away. So I was giving him a warrant anyway, like, you know what I mean, just go away. Because I couldn't start having scenes down there, because that gaff is full, do you know what I mean? Not full, but do you know what I mean, there's a good bit in there. So I knocked on the door, and I said, what are you doing? So he walks in, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, what? I said, why have you phoned them? He says, because I didn't want to like, get nothing of that. I said, lads, what are you on about? I said, you know, I've got bits on me. He's like, I know, but I just didn't know what to do. I'm like, lad, so you phoned another firm and brought them to where that pie is. And you told him as well. He said, well, I never told him what I've got. I said, it doesn't matter. Lad, just go and get me everything now. So he goes and gets me all. I'm like, lad, I said, yeah, there's a few bits to do. I said, see you later, lad. So now we're in the car, and the car's packing, and we're already bang on, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a horrible journey, innit? So I'm just, let's just get out of here, So we just absolutely just up and left straight away, right? Just up and left straight away. So gets off, flying down, gets out. So I know there's like parts, like, going in there, there's parts where there'd be plodgers sitting there, do you know what I mean? And you get to like certain parts where you know you're just safe all the way home. So I got to the safe zone where there's no safe all the way home, where flying down. So I get on the motorway, and I'm coming up to Switchy. I'm about 2 miles away from Switchy, yeah. And it just is bang. And I thought, wow, what was that? I thought someone threw a brick off the bridge or something, do you know what I mean? The car just goes, the car just sways right across every lane, yeah, and just goes right through a cabbage field. And I'm just like, no way. And where you are, there's cameras and all that, do you know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time before something comes. So I've gone right to this field, right, and I'm on this like soft. So I go through this cabbage field, right, and I'm just thinking, I don't believe this. So it just jumps out. So I thought, there's like farmers on the other side, they're like all pointing and that. So I'm thinking, they're definitely with a phone plot, there's no way they're not. So I've gone right to the side and buried everything like on the slide, you know what I mean? It was proper blended. So I'm thinking, the tyre blew out on the car. So I got the jack out. You can't jack up on soft soil, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, I don't believe this. So I phoned me, I'm like, go and get a ram, I need to get pulled out of here. Like, what I said, lad, I've got all the bits on me. They're like, you're mad, you just broad daylight, proper, sun's out, you know what I mean? Next thing, highway patrol have come, I'm like, no way. Next thing, chases have come, like, no way. So like, what's happening? There's about 3 phones in the car, do you know what I mean? And on the phones, on the graph phone, I took the chip out. So I put the chip of the graph phone with the swag buried, do you know what I mean? Just good job I did as well. So he's saying to me, what's that, lad? So he's coming round and all. He said, where have you been and all, blah, blah, blah. I said, I just been to my aunties and all that, you know, mate, she lives out the way and all that. So he's looking around the car, and he sees a bag of lemon, but there's no lemon, you know, like just like an empty one. And he goes to me, what's that? I said, what? He's like, what's that? So this busy now, he's like sort of got his back up now, he just knows something's not right, you know what I mean? And he's saying to me, what have you got in the car? I said, nothing. He's like, yeah, he said, what you're saying to me, it doesn't make sense, because it didn't make sense. Because I was on the spot a little bit. Now I had everything planned together I was going to say, but I was slipping little bits up and like I was on it, and I knew he was on it. So it's like, it's alerted him, do you know what I mean? He's like, now he's in like police mode instead of like save mode, do you know what I mean? So he's looking around at that, and I'm thinking, he's looking around it, and you could see like, there was a bit of soil, like, you probably couldn't have got on it normal, but because I knew, it stood out to me, because the soil was a bit different than like a circle, you know, where like the ground had been disturbed and all that. So he's walking over and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm thinking, no way. Thinking, if he digs that up though, yeah, I've got no DNA on it, so I can just deny it all anyway, right? But the phone chip, if he gets that phone chip, then, do you know what I mean? He's going to see which device it's been, because he can do all that, do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, no way, this is shit, this. So I'm like trying to diverge and trying to right, and next thing my mate's just saying up, right, in this big land, like, what's that, lad? With a winch and all that, and I was like, what's that, lad? So I'm just talking to the busy, he said, yeah, well, let me just take your name and all that. And I'm like, all right, go on, son. So my mate comes in the other car, so we get the winch on and all that, we pull the car out, and like the highway busies have got off, and then the normal busies have got off, and then the normal busies are just sitting there though. They're not like, they've got off, but they haven't got off, they're still in, they can still see us. So I'm thinking, I can't get them bits now, there's no way I can't get them bits now, because he might have had like a little inclination, you know what I mean? So I'm saying to me, that's all the bits are there, and you know what I mean? He's going to me, lad, just swerve it, we'll come back later. So I'm like, go on, son, so we've got off and all that, and I'm just like, my head was gone a bit, because they were my bits, you know what I mean? It was my job, so like, so then about 10 o'clock in the night, he mate said to me, lad, I won't grab that for you. I said, come and get me first. He's like, lad, I can't, and such, like, as if he was around there. So he said, all right, go on, son. So I told him exactly where it was, because where it was, you could see where it was, because it was like, I don't know what it was, I'm not going to say cross, but it was something, whatever it was something. And I stuck this thing by it, just on purpose, you know what I mean? So it blended, but you could tell. So he's like, all right, son. So I get a phone call. And he's like, lad, there's nothing there. I'm like, what do you mean there's nothing there? He's like, there's nothing there. I'm like, lad, there is. He's like, there's not. I said, there is. I said, wait there then, and I'm coming now. He's like, nah, I've got to go somewhere else. I'm like, lad, wait there, I'm on my way. Nah, I've got to go. So I'm thinking, weird. So he's got off, and then I've gone there, and it's gone. And then he's phoning me like, I'm on my way back now, lad. I'm like, what for? He's like, I don't know, to help you find him. And I'm thinking, what's he just done there? So I mean, I'm thinking, a plug on it, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen here. So I thought, devils. So he gets back, I'm just like, I can't believe I just lost all that. I am wounded off it. It was worth a good few grand, you know what I mean? I was wounded off it, never had much salt the time around it. So I was just like, I had no bits, what's happening here? So then about 2 days later, I'm driving down the road and I see this kid, and this kid, he gets bits off my mate, do you know what I mean? Now my mate told me the other day that he never had none, and he had no zone or that, he was going to get something on bail off me, do you know what I mean? So I said to him, what time, lad? I said, do you get any bits off? He said, I said, when last time I phoned him? He went to phone every day. I said, phone today? He went, yeah. Phone me yesterday? He's like, yeah. And I'm thinking, no way. I said, do me a favour. He said, what? I said, phone him now and get a few bits off him and I'll give you the top. Like, sound, because I know exactly how I bag up, do you know what I mean? I know exactly how I bag up. So if I see it, I'll know it's mine, yeah. So he comes and I'm stashed and all that. So the kid phones me like, yeah, I just been. Goes round, guess what? My bags. Exactly my bags. So now I know quite well that they're my bits, you know what I mean? I know he's robbed me. And like, he's not my mate, but I would have classed him as a mate and all that, and carrying on like that in the way he went about, and I know quite well it's a little rat, but I can't really do nothing about it because these are bigger than me, do you know what I mean? Now, the firm who I was with, when I say with, they're like me mates outside of grafter, that's how I know them, do you know what I mean? So they've all gone heavy, and then, do you know what I mean, I was just like, boom, wandered into the grafter and all that, what's that, yeah, so I can't start going crying to all them, because I was looking at an absolute mushroom. So I'm thinking, I'm going to have to do something, do you know what I mean? So I'm going to have to like do some homework, find out what. So I phoned my mate, he's like one of the big fellas, you know what I mean? I said, what's that, lad? He's like, what's that? He said, what's going on with you? So I told him, I said, and he went, he said, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know, lad. He said, well, do you want me to throw away? I said, no. He went, why? I went, like, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, running to daddy, you know, help. And he's like, yeah, I know what you're saying, lad, I know what you're saying. He said, do you know what, lad? He said, you probably do, you know? I said, yeah. He said, lad, you can have a go. And he said, but I reckon you do, you know? So I'm thinking, all right, sound. So I said, I'm going to go about it, lad. And he said, like, go about it wisely, though. He said, go about it wisely. He said, if you know it's him, you can't just put it on that it's him, lad. He said, because, he's his mates and then we'll have to get involved, which we will. But, if you want to do it on yourself, lad, you have to, like, make a new reason up. So he said, yeah. And he said, all right, sound. I said, does he still owe you dough? He went, no, he paid me yesterday. And I'm like, did he? Yeah, little rat. he must have sold what I had and just, you know what I mean, for cheap and just paid him off because he owed him dough and he couldn't pay him, and I know he couldn't pay him because we were talking about it like the day before, do you know what I mean? And now he's got bits and he's paying people off, and that's my dough. So I'm fuming, I'm proper fuming, right? So I'm thinking, what else to think about it for? It's very mad. So I said, all right, go on, I'll phone. He's like, well, get on me. I said, I will. So I put the phones out, I'm just like pacing around and thinking, how's he just done that? That means he just thinks I'm like some proper mushroom now. At the time, it wasn't like, it was nowhere near what it is like now, do you know what I mean? It was nowhere near that. I never had no pull. I only had like my mate and that, but my mate had major pull, but I didn't want to go to him because I'd been to him for a few times, and any little lick up I'm going to him, and he's like a knob, don't you? Do you know what I mean? I'm starting to mature in the game, starting to get on it myself. I want to be independent, I want my own, do you know what I mean? I want to do everything myself. So I'm like, all right, sound, so I thought, who was he with there? So he's with one of the lads, and one of the lads I've been with him a few times. So I phoned him, so what's that? And he's like, what's that, lad? What are you two? He's like, and he's like, he's a bit weird with me. He's a bit weird with me, do you know what I mean? So I'm saying, what's going on with you, lads? Have you seen such and such? He's like, yeah. Yeah, we were out. I said, was ya? I said, what, sniffing my limo? And he went, what? I said, what? I said, what? I said, what the hell was it? Was you drilling the limo? He's like, oh, yeah. Sam, but I thought he hears what I said then, and he's just like absolutely passed off that. So he's with them, so that's him gone. So I'm like, go on, see you later, see you later. So I phoned another kid who works with them. I'm like, what's that? And he's like, what's that? And I said, what have you been up to? He's like, nah, nothing, lad. He said, they was trying to get this bill down. I said, yeah, because he was like a bit of a jobby. He just got like, yeah, I don't know whether it was because they knew he couldn't fight or like that, but they just sort of half had him like a load of times. And I was always like, lad, you know what I mean? Lad, what's happening there? So I ended up not working with them anymore, and but this is the lad who I was on about, who I used to work with, you get what I mean, who's come and got me. So, you know, he took me bits, and there's no way he hadn't took me bits, because, you know, he was, you know, nothing's happened, no plot of being near me, nothing's happened like that. He took the bits. So now I'm in a bit of a position where, what do I do about it? Do I just waste them, or do I make a reason of why I waste them all? And then my mate phones me back. He's like, listen, and what he went, it never come from me, but he's getting half a box on in a couple of days. I said, shut up. I said, is he off who? He went, off me, lad. I said, yeah, is he? Yeah. He went, yeah. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I'm giving him half of the dough and half on bail. He said, but if that gets took off him, he still owes me the dough, doesn't he? He said, no, you know, lad, it is what it is, lad. He said, we go back a long way, lad, and, you know, I can tell you, I already know you've probably been pacing the gaff just fuming. He knows me, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah. He went, but, you know, it is what it is. He said, you know, see what happens, lad. He said, you have to go for it. You're either all in or you're not all in, do you know what I mean? Now, him saying that to me, it powered me up like, because I know quite well if it all goes absolutely upside down, he'll defo help me. And as soon as he gets involved, boom, see you later, nothing to do with it. See, all right, I did call a favour in. I do look like a bit of a mushroom, but it got too heavy for me, so we'll have to call him in. So I'm like, all right, sounds. So I phoned my other mate, and the other mate's not from the police, from out the way. I said, have you got any rammers, lads? He's like, I've got a couple there, because he does this with ringers and that, you know what I mean? He said, I've got a couple there. I said, what have you got? So he told me, he said, yeah. I said, guess that. He said, how much? He said, 15 tons. I said, go ahead. I said, bring it to mine, 15 tons. He's like, I said, it's only went, yeah, go on, sound. So I've given him 15 tons. Now that's me out. I've got no dough left. I've got absolutely nothing left. I've got nothing left. I've got no bits. I've got no dough. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just what I'm supposed to do. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm supposed to do. So here's what I'm gonna do. I want to shit this kid off. Yeah. I want to take back what's mine, and that's the end of it, right? Because I know quite well if it goes to a level where I can't handle it, then I'll phone him and they'll handle it for me. Do you know what I mean? I know for a fact. There's no doubt about it. And once he knows how tight I am with him, where he's gonna just be on the phone like, listen, lad. That'll be a game changer. But you know what? I sort of half like it. Apart from I haven't got no doubt. So I'm thinking, yeah, what I'm going to do, yeah, well, you know, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that. And I started thinking, well, what if it goes wrong? So I thought, you know, how can it all go wrong? So I started writing down things that could go wrong. And I was just like, lads, if there's a load of things that can go wrong, but just out of sheer anger, do you know what I mean? Just like, it's not betrayal because he's not me good mate, and you know it is like association, but lads, who do you think you are? Do you know what I mean? How do you just think I'm some little mushroom like that? You're just going to swallow that like it's nothing. Yeah, I'm not really happy about that. So I'm going to take a little step back now. I want to make a little plan, and you know what, lads? I'm getting me bitch back, mate. So the day comes, right, and what I've done is, over the past like couple of days where I had to wait until it was going down, yeah, I knew exactly where it was going down. It was going down my mate's house, right? So I'm thinking, I can't do nothing to the house, obviously, because then, you know, even if he's not in on it, but he's bent me on it, and I've had more information off him since, so he is in on it, really, if you think about it. And I'm thinking, that's, you know what, let's go. This is like the first time that I'm ever going to do anything like this, like where you're absolutely just like ramming people and just taking everything off them. Do you know what I mean? I've never done that before. There's been like, there's levels to it, this is another level. And the two kids have gone with me. They're the people who've always said to me, lad, if you ever get your own firm or you ever start up yourself, lad, we'll work for you. Yeah, because it come in my head. I was thinking, you know what, a few people have said that, and the people who said it, they're not Muslims, the proper sound, and they're working in other firms and have been for ages. So if they're saying that to me, but I just never ever, I just played it off, yeah, it's sound, that's there, high five, oh yeah, see you later. But then when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, you know what, I wondered if I'll just go all out and just ask them. So I'll just get on the phone, what's happening, lad, I'm supposed to, lad, what are you doing now? No, yeah, do you want to come to mine? Come and get me, yeah, come on, I'll come get you now. So I'll come get them, yeah, come back to mine, little stipe, little brandy, blah, 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 yeah. And they're like, yeah, lad, yeah, I'm game. I said, lad, are you though? He's like, lad, I'm game, defo. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if that brandy and lemon wears off, and then I'm not game, then that's to be expected. But lad, I'll get on you, yeah, sound. So it's another one as well, a separate occasions brought into mind, yeah, sound. So these lads, right, they're honest and the truth of the word, and out of the firms where I've known them to be in, they're the soundest out of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got no beef with no, they're straight talkers, and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm starting to like get this like little chessboard in my head now. Do you know what I mean? With like a little hierarchy in mind, and let's see what happens here. Let's just absolutely, I'm starting with absolutely zero here. I've got none. I've got absolutely none. But you know what I've got? I've got a plated up M5 outside, yeah, down the road in the corner. Yeah, proper sound. And that was my introduction to an M5, yeah. What an introduction, yeah. So I goes over and goes to the car, have a little look, I'm like, that's a beast. Now I knew what an M5 was, but I didn't know what an M5 was, you know what I mean? And at the time, up until this point, I took chasing like snag cars and then they're being nicked, and you know what I mean? And it is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? We're getting nowhere and that. But you've got to just do what you've got to do to get what you need doing done, don't you? So I'm like, alright, so as a little go, so it goes out there, as a little go round the block, and like just the way where no main roads, backies and all that. I'm thinking, yeah, that's a beast, yeah. Just presses the sports mode, and I'm just like, oh my god, this car is proper heavy. But I thought, I can't just start like flying around and that, round people trying to get away and all that, because I'll wrap it, there's no way I won't, because I know me, I know me driving skills, and it was like, it was like the pilot of a two-man plane just getting stuck in a spaceship. Do you know what I mean? You think you're the driver, but you start messing around with cars like that in the heat of the moment, all adrenaline pumping, you just rob someone, yeah. So, mate, I'll tell you now, it's going to end bad. So I'm just thinking, do you know what, we're flying here, so I've got these two with me, and I've got this absolute beast of a car. But how am I going to do it? Because I can't, like, I'm going to have to park up outside, because the car had tinted windows all around, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to park up outside, or like in a side street, so I can get a full view of the gaff. He's going to go in, he's going to come out, he's going to drive away. I'm going to have to just ram him somewhere, jump out, them two jump out, so he's not on it to me, yeah. And just do what we've all planned, and that's it, yeah, because he's only on his own. And, let's be honest, I'm not being funny and all that, but why did he deserve it, yeah. So it comes to it, right, so we're sitting there outside the gaff and all that, tinted windows, you can't see, we're already there before him, no. So when he comes and he's looking round, it looks like just, well, that was there before, because it stood out. So if anyone was going to do anything, it wouldn't be in that, because it's an absolute beast, it stands out like a sore thumb, you know what I mean? So that was like the sort of half, like, false perception he's got, right? Now, but get on this for absolute, it's like, sometimes when you get lucky and, everything's on, the day's all lucky, get on this, wow, what a helmet. So we've seen him come out the gaff, and he's got a little bag with him, right? And he opens the boot and puts it in the boot. And I'm thinking, why would you put it in the boot? Yeah, so now it doesn't matter, we know where it is. And then he checks himself, and he hasn't got his phone. So he runs in the house again. As he runs in the house, I just jumps out, runs over, opens the boot, gets the parcel, jumps back in the car, and just stays there. I've got the bag, I've just got that quick. Nothing's happened. The kid comes back out, gets in his car, and drives away. He lets him go, about 5 minutes later. Because I know he's not going to be looking, because he's in the boot, he's not going to look in the boot until he gets where he's going, and that's nowhere near where we are. Yeah, so I'm knocking my mates, and my mate goes, lad, you just missed him. I said, I just missed him. I said, you're mad, aren't you, lad? I said, what's up in the bag? He just burst laughing and told me, he's like, lad. He said, he left his phone. He said, the mushroom. I said, lad, I said, get on that then. And he's going to be, lad, that is proper sick, I said, lad, well, that's just between us. And he went, yeah. He said, lad, he said, lad, what, I'm proud of there, lad. I was like, that was a belt, that, yeah. Just think of what we would have done to what we did do. It's a totally different spectrum, yeah. Snatch and grab, see you later, lad. Now imagine what he's thinking when he's got home, or where he's going. He's just be like, yeah, the bag's not even there. He'll just be like, I'll put it on the floor somewhere, and then he's took it back home. Yeah, sound, see you later, mate, yeah. See you later, mate, nice one for that.